Ms. Neal used to have that song playing sometimes when I went over.
Did she?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can't say any more.
We want to move on with our program. We have been joined by Doc Pritchett. This is our On the Road with Doc Pritchett segment. Hi, Doc.
Hi, how are you?
Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, great,
Missed you.
great to be here.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, all right.
Welcome.
Mike, good.
We're excited on the road with Doc Pritchett.
Oh, my goodness, thank you.
Who would you bring along with you?
Well, I have two young men here this evening. They're members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and I'm also a member of that fraternity. And these young men are working extremely hard trying to promote the welfare of academics, in this case to the young people in the high school.
Wow.
And so it's called the Achievers Program. And of course, the another organization, the part is called the Links, and that's the female portion of young ladies coming together, trying to help out. I'm sure they got some other things that are part of that as well. But one of the things I asked them to do is to come on here and talk with you and to our viewing audience about what is the Achievers Club.
Yeah.
You know, what does it do for young men in Newcastle County? And so I'm going to ask Brian and his partner here to explain what is the Achievers Club and why should young men get involved with this program, particularly the high school youngsters.
Okay. Can we have your first and last name?
Okay, Brian Lewis.
Brian Lewis, okay.
And I'm Stephen Williams. How you guys doing today?
Thank you for that. Go ahead,
Okay. The Achievers Program is a joint venture between the Wilmington chapter of the Links Incorporated and the Wilmington Alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
It was founded in 1987 in the Wilmington area. The purpose of the program is essentially promoting excellence in African American young men.
Okay.
What it does is, well, essentially what it is it's a 6-month program of activities and workshops which focus on developing African American young men, promoting self-confidence, self-esteem,
Awesome.
self-pride, also helping them build confidence and to pursue their dreams and goals and aspirations.
Right.
Stephen?
Yes, and one of the things we really focus on, along with the many things that Brian discussed, was just helping our young men to be well-rounded. You know, getting them prepared for not just college, but life after that as well.
Yeah.
And you know, right now we want them to be able to compete on a new playing field, so to speak.
Okay.
You know, there was a time, you know, when young men went to college, and if you were African American, period, and you went to college, you were automatically on another level. Now, you know, a college degree basically puts you on an even playing field. And what we want them to do is not only go to college and succeed, but we want to make sure that these young men know how to present themselves, know how to speak, have, you know, spiritual background, that they're well-rounded, you know, and that they become gentlemen.
Right.
And that once they get into society, you know, they're more marketable. They have an edge.
Yeah.
And they're able to, you know, give as they've been given.
Sure.
You know, so that's one of the things that we're focusing on with this program. The program's been around since 1987.
Yeah.
And I personally went through the program back in 2004. So that program, you know, putting me around men in our community that were really doing, you know, positive things. People like Brother Pritchett here, and you know, Dr. Tony Allen and Jim Gilliam and Myra Neal, you know, just great men. It really just it touched me. It made me want to be part of this fraternity, and I'm blessed. So I'm just giving back.
Can I say one thing? First of all, thank you both for sharing that. That was a great presentation and answer to the question that Doc Pritchett had asked you, and I enjoyed your answer. And really, it made me think. It made me think and wonder. Right. Because what it sounds like to me is, first of all, yes, it sounds well-rounded, a well-rounded opportunity or structured opportunity and environment. But also from the men that you mentioned, like Doc Pritchett, you mentioned Mr. James H. Gilliam Sr. One of the things that I know about those two individuals is they tend to function in terms of service. They are very service-minded. Say, for instance, Mr. Pritchett serving in administration, being a principal and mentor. Mr. Gilliam coming out of college and working as a social worker.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then go on to become a philanthropist. And it seems like you mentioned you want to give back. It sounds like you're right on course. And looking at YouTube, it works.
The thing that I wanted to ask you is more along the lines of, with what Michael was saying as far as the mentors and the people being involved with Achievers being those who provide service or who serve. And then you mentioned that one of the goals of this program is to help young men develop themselves.
Yes.
How do you follow through once the 6 months is over to see that those two things, the desire and the will to serve, and then the personal growth and development continue to expand? How do you go about doing that?
Okay, well, first of all, we do stay in touch with them. Well, one aspect of the program is we offer scholarships to each participant in the program to encourage them to pursue higher education. We do stay in touch with them.
Good.
Also, and like Stephen, many of them end up joining the fraternity. So that's one of the things we do.
And just to add on to that, obviously certain things are instilled in them at the beginning of the program. And as they go through the program, these young men, they change. They develop, truly go from boys to young men.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And a lot of times what we have noticed is they reach back to us, and they, I've talked to a couple of young men that we had in the program last year.
Yeah.
And just having conversations about some of the same things that we talked about that they would go through, and some of their college experiences, and some of them are even getting ready for college at this point in time. And it's just it's truly a remarkable thing to see that these young men want to succeed, and now something that they've added to their, you could say, repertoire is the ability to even reach back to people like ourselves,
right,
who have been where they want to go, and say, hey, help me here, or I got a question about this, or I went through this my first semester. So that's one of the ways we're able to keep in contact, and we always also welcome them back to the program.
That's great.
Yep.
How do you find the participants, or do they find you initially?
That's a great question.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, through reputation of the community, notice a lot of people have come to the program. It's well known throughout the Wilmington area, so a lot of people will seek entrance into the program. We've also developed relationships with guidance counselors and various high schools throughout the Newcastle County area. Every year on December, we send out solicitations to various guidance counselors, asking them to identify strong young men, young black men, although we do not discriminate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Identify people who would benefit from such a program. The participants, they range from people with 4.0 GPAs to people with 2.0 GPAs. Again, we encourage achievement, but we also understand that one of the main focuses of the program is to help people and to develop people and to help them to strive for better, to improve themselves.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So once the solicitations go out, inviting students to, making students aware of the program,
mm-hmm,
we have a series of orientations where the students and their families do come out, learn more about the program, and if they so choose to, they can apply.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Once again, having had intimate working relationships with let's use Mr. Pritchett for an example, since you're here, Doc, and this is On the Road with Doc Pritchett.
Right.
But you know what I find amazing about Mr. Pritchett is no matter what his level of education, he was always connected with anybody. He did. You talk about not discriminating based on race. He didn't discriminate at all, and he loved each one of us equally. And I can truly say this: when I left Bancroft, I had culture shock, because when I went to another school after busing, there was not that level of involvement. On an intimate. I hope I'm not talking too much, but I'm passionate about this. There was not that level of interaction and involvement, and so therefore a lot of students who had potential and gifts fell through the cracks because either a cultural disconnect or you know, or whatever the reason. I didn't experience that under Mr. Pritchett, and it sounds like when you, once again, that well-roundedness,
Yes.
I believe is an asset, because talent and intelligence comes in so many different packages.
That's so
It doesn't look like one thing.
Yes.
It could be anything, and we have to have an open mind.
Yes,
Definitely agree.
yes, yes.
One of the things you said was seek entrance. So once the solicitation's over and you start having the orientations, is everyone accepted?
One of the things we do go through a selection process. We don't, like I said, discriminate so much upon just GPA, but we do want to see kids that are doing things, that are working hard. So the application, within the application, is included not just their transcripts, but you know, an essay of why they would like to be a part of the program, and also most of these young men are recommended. So the people that recommend them, you know, obviously we feel highly about, and so for them to recommend them for this program, I mean, obviously that automatically gives them an edge. Now, one of the things that has happened is this program has grown. And since the last co-chairman, which was Myra Neal, was in the program, was a part of the program, it's grown from around an average of 15 students per year to around 30. So sometimes when we have, you know, 40 and 50 plus applicants, we do have to get down to a certain number, but we try to take on as many kids as we can, because, you know, the goal is, like I said, help as many young men as we can at this time. The more you can help, the better it's going to be from a societal standpoint.
So what grade does this start? Is this from freshman or is it all grades?
It's junior and senior year.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Quick question. I know that many of the folks involved in the Achievers are in business.
Right.
But do you have also members or mentors who are in, say, for instance, some of the trades versus in the business sector? You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like, say for instance, someone that has, you know, maybe not CEO characteristics,
Right.
but they still have leadership qualities, but it's just not in traditional business. It may not be in finance, and maybe it's in auto repair,
Right.
or a towing business. Do you have like blue collar as well as white collar? Well, something I just wanted to ask.
Right.
Well, I think the brothers in the fraternity,
Yeah.
and we're speaking about the alumni chapter.
Right.
Again, what you just mentioned, there are a wide range of individuals in terms of where they work, retirees and what have you. So we try to give them a cross section of the various types of employment that are out there,
Great.
and how to conduct themselves to get that particular job.
Okay.
Yes, this is overall positive role models who can help these young men develop their skills,
Right.
and help them get to where they need to be.
That says it.
I'm very curious as to what the curriculum is. Like what the first night, okay?
Okay.
First of all, how often do the young men meet?
Every 2 weeks. The program runs from January until June. They traditionally meet every 2 weeks with a series of workshops and activities.
What is the meat of the workshops? Like, what are some of the specific topics that you discuss with them?
Okay, we speak about, number one, career goals, public speaking, the importance of education, family values, sexual responsibility, financial responsibility.